Loneliness, often seen as a negative emotion, can indeed be a powerful teacher when we approach it with acceptance and understanding. In the words of Arthur Schopenhauer, a man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom, for it is only when he is alone that he is really free. This perspective suggests that solitude, born from the acceptance of loneliness, holds the key to true freedom. Picture this: a young woman found herself in a period of deep loneliness. She had recently moved to a new city, leaving behind her familiar surroundings and friends. Initially, the loneliness felt suffocating, and she yearned for companionship to fill the void. However, as time passed, she began to explore the depths of her solitude. She immersed herself in books, nature, and self-reflection. The woman realized that she could enjoy her own company, discovering a sense of completeness that didn't rely on external factors. This transformation from loneliness to solitude is not about suppressing the desire for connection, but rather about learning to appreciate the richness of one's own presence. It's about embracing the opportunity to develop a profound relationship with yourself. Solitude allows you to become an observer of your thoughts and emotions, gaining insights into your inner world. As you delve deeper into your essence, you'll find that solitude is not synonymous with isolation. It's a state of being where you recognize your intrinsic worth and inner completeness. Jean-Paul Sartre once said, "If you're lonely when you're alone, you're in bad company." According to this statement, loneliness can serve as an invitation to explore your own richness. In solitude, you have the chance to cultivate self-love and acceptance, paving the way for a deeper connection with others when the time is right. Finding the equilibrium between our human and being aspects is a fundamental aspect of managing loneliness. As Immanuel Kant once noted, two things fill the mind with ever-increasing wonder and awe. The more often and the more intensely the mind of thought is drawn to them, the starry heavens above me and the moral law within me. This observation emphasizes the duality of human existence, with the starry heavens symbolizing the realm of form and external experiences, while the moral law within represents our inner essence. Psychologically, the human aspect refers to our physical, emotional, and mental form. It's the part of us that experiences the external world, including our desires, needs, and interactions with others. Loneliness often arises when we overly identify with our human aspect, seeking external validation and connection to fill perceived voids. However, our human form alone cannot provide lasting fulfillment, as it is subject to constant change and external influences. On the other hand, the being aspect represents our essential self, beyond the fluctuations of external circumstances. It is the part of us that remains unchanged and whole, irrespective of the ups and downs of life. Managing loneliness involves recognizing and nurturing this being aspect, as it offers a profound sense of inner completeness. When we learn to access our being, we are less dependent on external sources for validation and contentment. The key to finding the balance lies in integrating these two aspects harmoniously. It's not about rejecting our human experiences, but rather embracing them while anchoring ourselves in our essential being. In this way, we can engage with the world authentically without losing touch with our inner selves. By acknowledging and accepting both aspects of ourselves, we can navigate loneliness more effectively, appreciating the richness of solitude while enjoying meaningful connections with others. Building on the concept of finding a balance between our human and being aspects, we delve into the significance of engaging in meaningful activities and relationships when it comes to managing loneliness. As mentioned, our human form naturally seeks connection and interaction with the world around us. To achieve this balance, it's imperative to appreciate the role of both activity and relationships. Activities, when pursued with mindfulness, can serve as a gateway to presence. Whether it's pursuing a hobby, engaging in creative endeavors, or simply immersing oneself in a meditative walk, these activities allow us to be fully present in the moment. In such moments, loneliness tends to recede into the background as we experience a profound connection with ourselves and the world around us. When we are actively engaged in activities, our focus shifts from the sense of lack or loneliness to the richness of the experience itself. Likewise, relationships can offer a sense of connection and fulfillment. Human beings are inherently social creatures, and healthy relationships provide opportunities for growth, support, and companionship. However, it's essential to approach relationships mindfully, understanding that they should complement, not define, our sense of self. When we form relationships from a place of inner completeness, they become a source of joy rather than a means to fill a void. Continuing our exploration of managing loneliness, let's delve deeper into the importance of finding intensity in the present moment. Philosopher Blaise Pascal once said, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. We often seek distractions or external stimuli to fill the void within by escaping the present moment." The intensity of presence is a powerful tool in managing loneliness. Loneliness can be exacerbated when we allow our minds to wander, dwelling on past regrets or anxiously anticipating an uncertain future. However, when we cultivate an intense connection with the present moment, we become less susceptible to the mind's distractions. This intensity involves immersing ourselves fully in whatever we are doing, whether it's a simple daily task or a moment of introspection. To gauge your own level of presence, consider the following questions. Can you remain rooted in the present without being drawn into the mind's narrative for extended periods? Is there enough intensity within you to sustain your state of aloneness, allowing you to transcend mere personhood and become conscious of your deeper self? Loneliness often dissipates when you can embody this heightened state of awareness. Moreover, motivation plays a crucial role in finding intensity in the present moment. The desire to escape suffering, or the realization that freedom from suffering is possible, can provide the necessary motivation for awakening. It's not uncommon for individuals to only seek this level of intensity when faced with significant challenges or suffering. However, it's worth noting that the intensity required for managing loneliness can be cultivated intentionally, even in times of relative ease and contentment. Drawing from the wisdom of ancient teachings, we turn our attention to the profound insights of the Buddha in the context of managing loneliness. The Buddha's core teaching revolves around the end of suffering. He emphasized that the path to liberation lies in freeing oneself from the shackles of suffering rather than solely pursuing enlightenment or God realization. This perspective resonates with individuals who are ready to confront their suffering and find solace within. A story from the life of the Buddha illustrates this point. Once, a grieving mother approached him, clutching her lifeless child. She pleaded with the Buddha to bring her child back to life. The Buddha listened compassionately and promised to help if she could bring him a mustard seed from a household that had never experienced loss. The mother went from house to house, but every home had its share of suffering and loss. Finally, she returned to the Buddha, realizing the universality of human suffering. It was in that moment that she began to find a path towards acceptance and healing. The story of the grieving mother reflects the Buddha's teaching that suffering is an intrinsic part of the human condition. It is the desire to alleviate suffering or the recognition of the possibility of freedom from suffering that often propels individuals on the path to awakening. Whether you are currently experiencing the depths of loneliness or content in your solitude, the wisdom of the Buddha reminds us that life has a way of offering the experiences and motivations necessary for growth and self-discovery. In conclusion, managing loneliness is a journey that varies for each individual. The wisdom shared today emphasizes the importance of finding the right intensity and motivation to embark on this path. Whether you are content in your aloneness or seeking companionship, remember that life unfolds in its own way, offering opportunities for growth and self-discovery.